hey, plot twist, Captain Rocks is Blackbeard. He used some devil fruit to turn into a little kid again. Something plot twist. Bro, what is going on here? This flashback with Kozuki Oden, with the Whitebeard pirates, fucking Goldie Roger, Orochi's true past, a young Blackbeard. Baby, these past couple chapters of One Piece, yet again, the greatness. Let's talk about it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
So the past couple chapters of One Piece, 964 and 965, have been continuing the adventures of Kozuki Oden and his journey. Not only, of course, he's already escaped out of Wano, but his journey with the Whitebeard pirates and everything. Let's go back a little bit to 964 in particular. One of the things that was really dope was it just continuously reinforces, and this is why I'm like, I'm hoping, now I don't know if it'll come to me or whatever, but I am hoping that somehow, some way, Oden is still alive, or he returns from, you know, the time maybe his wife threw him, and he's gonna show up at the exact moment when the war begins, something along those lines. But I'm just hoping that Oden ain't finished, because everything that this whole flashback about Oden screams is, this dude was incredible. This dude was amazing. There's a reason why each and every one of these dudes, Kinemon, Kanjuro, Raizo, all of them, Shutenmaru, all of them, the reason why they rock with this dude, he is incredible. 964, he wants to join the Whitebeard pirates. Of course, Whitebeard's like, nah, I don't think so. And he's like, alright, bet. You can join if you can hold on for 3 days to this boat. And it's just showing like these incredible feats of how incredible Oden is. Incredible, just incredible is the word that just jumps out at me, because he's like, I bet. So he holds on, and of course he got Izo with him. I think that's how you pronounce his name, which sometimes I forget that that's a dude, but he got Izo with him, and it shows the righteousness of him and why he was a true leader. Like, honestly, it would be dope if Oden does come back at some given point, or he still survived the past or whatever, and he becomes the next ruler of Wano once it falls, once Orochi is defeated and everything, because he had 3 days to do it, and it was to the point where Marco's rooting for him. Even Whitebeard started rooting for him, eventually calls him his little brother. But he had 3 days to do this, and at the last hour, on some righteous shit, was like, oh, nah, I hear a woman calling, I gotta go. And he ends up kind of failing the mission at the last hour, even though he was perfectly capable of doing it, despite, like, yo, he looked a hot mess. But it just shows, again, it reinforces his character, which I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with talking about it, but Oden was an insanely awesome man. Now, his wife, there's something there in particular which I'm really interested to know, because she's been around for, what, 800 years, so she could have been around for the Void Century, she could have been around for all the shit that happened in the past that the government is covering up. But also, we see in this one where, just as she's about to time jump, she feels like, nah, I think I'm in the right time, actually. I think this is where I'm supposed to be, because she wanted to go, initially her whole mission was, I want to go to Wano, but upon meeting Oden, she was like, nah, I think this is where I'm supposed to go. So there's something there, the intellect that, and the foreseeing of what was to come that this woman had was on point. I feel as though there's something there that she knew at some given point a lot of this was going to happen. Her intuition, whatever you want to call it, because for her to decide, you know what, I'm going to just stay at this point, definitely something interesting. I mean, that whole chapter in general, awesome. Whitebeard, you know, pretty much accepting Oden in, and then the ending when we see Roger and he's like, yo, somebody actually made it out of Wano, because you can see at the end of the day, even what is said in 965, it's very interesting, because while Wano is closed down, so on one aspect you could look at it like, damn, they don't accept people in, they don't let people out, what's going on here? But even Whitebeard refers to them as they're the only ones that's free. Like, it seems as though the government, the world government at that point, didn't really have their hands in it. They weren't allowed in, nothing like that. So it's kind of like they had freedom in their own solace, which is an interesting perspective to have about what Wano was back then. Of course, you know, later on it would become something else. Then we get to 965, a lot of things happen. I feel as though the pacing has been picking up steadily. Like, okay, bam, Momo is born, which again, that means we got, what, a few more years. You got to think, because after, how old is Momo at this particular point? What is he, like 8 or something? So Oden only has a certain amount of, or maybe he's even younger than that. I can't remember what is Momo's age, but there's only a certain amount of time left for everything to happen before ultimately, you know, what happens with Oden. So you're seeing that time is moving, especially with, again, Momo being born, because at that point it puts the timer on, like, okay, now that he's born, we got X amount of years to go. And I find it that Orochi's past, we desperately needed this. I'm gonna tell you right now, because Orochi up until this point just felt like a sniveling little asswipe. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, don't get me wrong, yeah, he's dangerous, yeah, he's done a lot of really, really messed up shit, but the reasoning behind why is he so cruel and vicious always just felt like, okay, what's going on? Are you just this asshole? So the fact that Oda gave him a pretty interesting backstory, the fact that he's kind of like done a lot of this out of vengeance to a certain degree, it's still selfish, but like what happened with his father? His father had a plan, then eventually he got caught, he had to kill himself essentially, and that was the reason why Orochi was so broke. So getting that backstory, which I'm really, really curious what's going on with this witch of Wano. What was that about? Like, who is that? What play is she at this particular point? What is her role in everything right now in Wano? I'm imagining she's still around. If she was, like, you know, there got to be a motive for her too. So I'm interested to see what the backstory is on that particular character, why she wanted things to go this way. Was it because while Oden's father was in power, and if Oden would have taken the crown, things wouldn't have went a particular way she wanted? Maybe, like, why is she doing this? Why did she mold things to flow this way with helping out Orochi? Because Orochi and her pretty much bamboozled everything. It's insane that despite the fact that, yeah, back in the day, Oden, he felt bad for the dude, even though he kept robbing him blind, saying, oh, I need money, I need money, I need money. But he kept on robbing him blind and doing some messed up stuff. But he eventually weaseled his way into taking, and now we got exactly how it was that Orochi took that power over from Oden's father. Which again, I'm really appreciative that we got more than just like, okay, he's just, because up until this backstory, think about it, like he's just a piece of shit. He's a real messed up piece of shit. I mean, what he did to Tonoyasu, which was that his real name? But you know what he did to do, pinning him up like Jesus in the middle of the town and all sorts of shit. That was really, really messed up stuff. But it still didn't give context as to why he was so brutal. So getting now everything of how Orochi came to be with power, how he tricked everybody, it was good. I liked it. I felt as though that added a lot more to the character than just a simple mustache twirler, even though it kind of gives me a little bit, which I'm not sure about. I'm not, you know, a Japanese history buff, but kind of reminds me of like a Kame Got Killed, which was based off, I want to say, Chinese history, where that king that was a bumbling idiot came to power because, I mean, Orochi isn't the smartest guy in the world or anything, and if anything, if it wasn't for that witch, he probably wouldn't even have been able to pull off what he did in the past. One of the biggest things about 965 that I was like, yo, which also kind of made me see a comparison there, was seeing when the moment that Blackbeard joined the Whitebeard pirates. He was basically an orphan, which with all the theories going around right now, the name of Blackbeard's ship, the fact that there's a potential relation, whether it be that he's his son, Blackbeard, to Captain Rocks, I'm curious to see, like, could it possibly be in the same fashion of the story that we just got with Orochi with Blackbeard? Like, let's just say hypothetically speaking, right? Blackbeard is the son of Captain Rocks. Does he know at this point when he's getting on this ship that his father was Captain Rocks, and maybe he had a vendetta against Whitebeard, or maybe he was unaware at this particular point? So that's something that I'm immediately looking at it like, so was this a big grand plan? Because, I mean, it's a little bit of a coincidence, especially like, hey, if that's any relation to Blackbeard at all, who, you know, Captain Rocks was, like, hey, plot twist, Captain Rocks is Blackbeard. He used some devil fruit to turn into a little kid again, something, plot twist! No, but it would be a very, very big coincidence that, hey, Whitebeard was a part of the Rocks pirates, something happened to Captain Rocks, and now his son or somebody related to him shows up and wants to join the Whitebeard pirates. So I'm imagining at that point he was already aware, again, assuming that there's a relation between Blackbeard and Captain Rocks, of what he's doing, which, if you look at it, the comparison kind of sounds like Orochi's backstory. I'm wondering, like, is there going to be a very, very big similarity between what Orochi went through with his father dying and why he did what he did to Oden and Oden's father, and with Blackbeard with Captain Rocks? Or how's that going to work? Or is it just going to be something totally different? Either way, very, very big move, because, like, we're seeing everything now. We're getting to see when Blackbeard joined. We're getting to see all of Oden's adventures. Crazy shit. It's crazy how closed up Wano's been. Like, even to this point, I'm imagining, I mean, they don't let people in or out now. They really just don't know shit. Like, first of all, Oden didn't know how big the sea really was. So he's like, damn, there's way more than just a few islands in this world. So that's one big misconception. But also, he didn't really understand about, like, the Marines. Like, when they're coming up on Whitebeard's ship, he's like, yo, let's just fight him off. No, fam. Like, we destroy them, 10 billion more are gonna come. So the fact that there's so little information, I mean, it's already been shown, foreshadowed. I mean, the way they use basically drawn wanted posters instead of having like real photographs or anything. Wano is very, very beyond the times, which again, it kind of reminds me of just like, I feel as though they're incorporating, I don't know if this is real Japanese history, but I've seen elements of this type of story before, so it has to be based on some historical facts. I'm sure somebody in the comments knows of where this is from. And then the end of chapter 965, seeing Roger and his crew. First of all, yo, I ain't gonna lie, seeing Little Shanks with, you know, Captain's hat on and on top of a dead body eating something, I'm like, yo, you guys were brutal. You guys were real brutal. So that was one thing that I noticed immediately, like, yeah, you guys are savages. But also, it's really making me just question, okay, how is Oden gonna eventually roll with Roger? He's saying in this chapter at the very end, my time is coming. It's probably gonna be the last time that I run into Whitebeard. So I'm curious if they've had that moment already where he explains to him what One Piece is and everything, or is it about to happen maybe right now? Because he's like, yo, let's kill him, let's go at it, this will be the last time. So I'm interested to see how is it going to be that, because we know Oden eventually goes over and joins Roger's crew for a bit. Is it just gonna be like Whitebeard's gonna be like, go ahead, Roger wants you, Roger needs you, he's about to die anyway? Are they gonna have that bonding moment? I'm really interested to see where this is all gonna go. Either way, One Piece has been once again fire. I'm really, really interested to see, are we gonna see Roger versus Whitebeard next chapter, or are we gonna get maybe a little bit of a skirmish and then they're gonna eventually have that moment where Whitebeard finds out everything? I know obviously Oda ain't gonna spoil what is One Piece and all of these other secrets, but I'm still nonetheless really excited to see where this is all going. Overall, chapters 964, 965, definitely huge moments. The beginning of this arc, like, it was a little shaky, a little bit slow. Now it's just like bam, 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 insanely freaking fire. Loving it, and I'm really, really excited to see where this is gonna go with Roger and Whitebeard. Woo! Yeah, this is fire. So that's for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links of course in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in.
Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride. But I hope you know that when